trying this live, doing the live again for the second time. I was going to do this right after I finished working out earlier today when I got in the truck, but ended up having a issue with the truck. The brake lamp switch went out. Once I figured that out, I had to get that taken care of. But I still want to do this live video in regards to men. I feel like the reason, well, not just men, why it's so important that we do what we can do to take care of our bodies, to take care of our temple that God gave us, because our bodies is a way of honoring God, and He said that in His Word. We must honor Him. Or do you not know that your body is a temple that was given to you, and we must honor Him with that? And and I know this is the beginning of the year, 2000 and what 25, 2025 is the beginning of a new year, and you have people that set New Year's resolution. But this is not about a resolution, even though it's January the what second, January the second. It's not about the New Year's resolution. It's more about you know making sure we're doing what we can do, what we should be doing in order to take care of our bodies, our temples. Um, and I can speak from a point of I see what's going on, Christopher. Good to have you on, brother. Thank you so much for hopping on and joining. Um, I can speak from the viewpoint of I haven't always been about my health, because even as an athlete, all of my life, my health was not always my top priority, and I think that could have come from it wasn't stressed, it wasn't talked about, especially among men, black men, talking about your health and your wellness, and uh, I didn't start taking it seriously until I had some health issues. Now, I am an educator. I've been teaching what 25 years. 25 years. I work with special needs, special education, and I've been in special education for 25 years. I work with. I have the behavior problems, like the chronic behavior problems. But the last 7 years, I have been with autistic, working with autistic kids, and um, you have to be chosen. You have to be called to be in education. Education is not for everybody. I actually got into education because my grandmother suggested, "Why don't you become a teacher?" I never thought of becoming a teacher, but my first degree I have is in business. Always wanted to be an entrepreneur, so my first degree I got when I was on a basketball scholarship is in business. The second one is in education, special education. And I always had a thing for pulling for the underdog, so to speak. And I've been in special ed for 25 years. And with that, with education, if you are a person that really, truly care about your kids and it's not just a job to you, then my health took a hit, like a big hit, and I didn't realize that the job was causing that stress. Can't tell a child she will get old. Watch them out. Thanks for sharing. Who was that shared the comment? I'm still trying to get used to doing the live. So reading comments, I'm still trying to get used to that. So excuse me if I don't say your name whenever you come on. But anyway, my make a longer story short, my health issues came from my job. My doctor told me that my body was taking the job as stress. I didn't think I was under any stress. The kids were not the, the stressful part. Um, the kids were not the stressful part. It was more so the politics, the paperwork, all of that stuff that comes along with you're supposed to be there for the kids, but then we have all this other stuff we got to make sure that we got to do the politics, the paperwork, the test scores, all of this other stuff. But I was the one that I really tried to save each and every one of my kids. And I had a veteran teacher to tell me, well, Coach Walker, you can't save everybody. I said, well, how do you choose which one you're going to save, which one you're going to try to reach? And and they will also tell you, when I say they, veteran teachers will also tell you to leave your job at the job, meaning all of the emotional stuff that you see that comes along with the kids, you have to leave that at the job. And I tried to do that. I tried to leave it at the job, and I didn't. I couldn't, because I couldn't be like, well, I'm not going to work with this kid. I'm not going to work with that kid. But how I am as a person and the way I cared about all of my kids, trying to save all of my kids, led to me being on 19 different medicines at one time. Everything from high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I was diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome. That was like a severe case of diarrhea. Everything I ate or drank, including water, within a couple of minutes, it just ran straight through my body. So, and I was going to my doctor. After I finally started going to the doctor, I was going to the doctor, and he was like, "Hey, Coach Walker, you got to make a change. Your body is taking this job as stress, or I don't think I'm under stress. So how is that going to work?" So I my health was not always a thing to me, but until I went through health issues when I was on those 19 different medicines at one time, and that medicine started having me feel a certain way, um, and I was like, you know what, I got to get off this medicine. So I stopped. I said, look, I got to give my body a break. So I was determined I was going to stop for like a week, and I did. I stopped for like a week, and in that, I had a friend of mine that told me about some natural, whatchamacallit. In fact, it was this drink called Super Mix, but it's moringa, the plant moringa oleifera, which like completely, I said it saved my life. And that's when I started getting on becoming a healthier person, a healthier me. And also, my doctor convinced me to see a therapist after some months, maybe a couple of years of him trying to convince me to talk to someone, because he wanted me to talk to someone. He said my body was taking it as stress. I didn't think I was under stress. So how do you want me to stop something I don't think that I'm stressing about? So there was this, okay, you want me to stop stressing, but I don't think that I'm under stress. But you're telling me my body is taking this job as stress. So I did end up talking to a counselor, which was one of the better choices that I made. Was talking to a counselor. She's a faith-based counselor, and it really started helping me connect and making sense of things. And I started on wanting to become healthier. And when people would see me, they didn't think that I was unhealthy from the looks of me. But you don't know what's going on the inside of your body. We can't tell what is going on. Outside, I look healthy. I was always um, on the thin side, right at 200 for my height. I'm right at 6'8". So I was always at 200 until I got over, when I was on that medicine and was sick. When all that medicine, I ended up gaining 70 pounds. So I was at 270. So all this other health issues and stuff started coming, which led to me being on those 19 different medicines. So I said all that to say, you don't want to wait until something happens before you start taking care of your body. You don't want to do that, because I was blessed and fortunate enough. Yes, I did go through some things, some illnesses, some sickness. That irritable bowel syndrome was no joke. I could not leave the house. Like for 6 weeks, I was out of work, couldn't leave the house. If I did leave the house, especially if I was going to a new building, I needed to, when I walk in that building, the first thing I'm looking for is the bathroom, because I needed to know how to get to the bathroom as quickly as possible. Because with IBS, that's what they call for short, with IBS, and as bad as I had it, it's not giving you time to get to the bathroom. It's not like, oh, I feel like I got to go to the restroom. No, it just happens. So when I felt comfortable enough to where when I wanted to go out, I made sure that uh superfoods. Yeah. You know what? Let me do something so I can see y'all comments. Hold on one sec. Uh, now, much better. I had to take those contacts out, and so I can see the comments. So this is a whole lot better. Contacts were getting blurry. I'm trying to look, and that happens too when you get older. But anyway, where was I? Talking about the um, just being on all that medicine, and I had to learn from going through some things with my oh, this is so much better. Diet, herbs are superfood. Any other comment? I had to go through those things to um, in order for me to get on this health journey, and it has been a blessing um, since I've been going through this on this health journey. And I believe that God allowed us to go through things in order to get us to a certain point. Had I not gone through the things that I went through with my health, would I be this way about my health now? And because I am this way about my health, and when I share with others, like what I'm doing through this video, when I share with others, um, hopefully, prayerfully, it will shed some light on someone that will encourage them to start doing the same thing, especially as Black men, because in our culture, it was not talked about. We didn't talk about health problems or health issues or going to the doctor. In fact, if it came up, it was more so looking at you like going to the doctor, like for what? The same thing like expressing your feelings, showing emotion. Um, we would even tell kids if it's a young boy and he's crying, we don't do that. You don't cry. Don't you let nobody see you cry. So I went through all of those things. Just not expressing my emotion, not expressing my feeling, um, just holding it in and not realizing that's what I was doing was holding it in. It was because I that's all I knew. Like that was the right thing to do. That's all I knew. But it was killing me. Like my health, it was hurting me, and it took a toll. It took a toll on my health. Take care of the body. Emotionally, health is critical. Definitely. Your emotional health is like your emotional health is going to affect your physical health. Your emotional health is going to affect every other area of your life if your emotional health is not taken care of. And um, it took me going through the things that I went through to get to that point to where I started looking into living a healthier lifestyle and including the emotional side. And I thank God for my doctor for encouraging me to speak with someone, to speak with a. When he asked me about it, I said, "Oh, you want me to talk to a shrink?" He said, "They don't even use that term anymore." And I would say counselor and therapist, and eventually I did go started in the first 3 sessions. I was just like sitting in there, and she'll ask me questions. I give her like I'll answer the question, but I didn't elaborate on anything. And she was like, "You're just not going to let this happen." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like how you're answering the question. It's like yes, no, from there. And that fourth session that I went to, she said, "Hey, Maurice, how's it going?" I said, I'm pretty good." She said, "Why you just, yo, you're pretty good? Why just pretty good?" And when I answered that, it just led to another question. And that fourth session, when I was in with my counselor, that fourth session was literally like um, when I was finished with that session, it was a hour session. When I was finished with that session, it literally felt like I just played 3 games of basketball, full court, back to back to back. That's how physically drained I was. And it wasn't until I got in my car that I realized how emotionally drained I was from that session. And that was pivotal for me in my life. When I went back for that fifth session, I told her that. And she was like, "Yes, because you have been all of your life just bottling those things on the inside. You haven't been talking about it." And it was just so much that was within because of that. So yes, your emotional health is all of it is critical as far as us taking care of of our bodies. So But I wanted to come on earlier to do this video to really stress about making sure we're doing what we're doing to take care of ourselves. If you have to get out, get into the gym, to the weight room, working out. I go to the gym several times a week, maybe 5, 6 times a week to work out. I enjoy going to the gym. For me, it feels better being in the gym, working out. So, whatever it is that you do to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, we need to make sure that we do that. And brothers, we need to encourage other brothers to do the same thing. Like, hey man, how you doing? What's going on with you? Just calling and checking on another brother to see um, how things are going with them, because that does not help a lot when we don't do that. When we and I have to look back at myself how I was. And basically, I was suffering in silence, but I didn't think that I was suffering. But because I wasn't expressing or doing whatever, that's what I was doing. And I was keeping everything and was internalizing it. And again, my hat's off to my doctor that I had at that time for suggesting that and letting me know. And he was like, your body is giving you warning signs. And you seem to be not listening. You worried about your job. He said, if you drop dead, they're going to find a substitute teacher to put in your spot until they fill your position. And he said, they probably won't even come to your funeral. And when I was home for 6 weeks, when I had that IBS, not one person from my job called to check on me to see how I was doing when I was out. I had one to come by my house, and she came by to pick up some paperwork that they needed. But as far as checking to see how it was, it didn't happen. So I learned to like, hey, you got to take care of yourself. And I want to say that to whoever is watching this, whether you're watching it live or you're still watching it on replay, you got to do what you can do now to take care of yourself. So many people have health issues now, and they think back, I could have done something different before I got to this point with my health. And we don't want to be in that place. I don't want to be in that place. I don't want you to be in that place. Preventive care is a major thing where we are preventing things from happening, preventing things from going on. I tend to isolate myself like it's normal, recognize and address as needed. Yeah, I did that as well. I would isolate myself, and that wasn't good. I mean, because I don't know, I can sit on here and talk for hours about um, a lot of that stuff. And I'll share this with you, and maybe I'll do this on another video. I don't know if I want to do this live or what, but a lot of my issues stem from not having my father involved in my life, and he's still not involved in my life. And as I was growing up, I didn't know what was going on internally. Like I didn't know that is what was affecting me, not having my father in my life. um, I discovered that the effects that it was having on every area of my life, I discovered that in a therapy session. That's how I discovered it. I knew I went through a whole gamut of emotion, of feelings throughout my life because my father wasn't involved, but I didn't know like how deep it was and what it was causing and how it affected me in relationships. It affected every area of my life, and I wanted to. Part of me was isolating myself from other people. I can be around other people, but I was still like isolated, if that makes any sense, because I mastered isolation. Family, we cannot choose, yet we are aware. Yep. I mastered that isolation. I mastered, what was the other one? Suppression. I would suppress things in order. It was a protective mechanism for me. Like things would happen and my body would automatically suppress it to make it seem like it didn't happen in order to protect me emotionally. So, and those were things that I learned about myself through this journey of life and Doing this, what I'm doing now, talking about it on a video, talking about it to people that I don't even know, that was a definitely no. Public speaking was one of my biggest fears. And my coach in college put me in a public speaking class, and that was like the worst summer I ever had because I always had to do a speech. But my life is my life. My life is not just about me. And God, thank you, Chris. God shared that with me. God was like, "Hey, your life is your life, but your life ain't just about you. I delivered you through these things in order for you to share with other people, not for you to sit on it and not for you to isolate yourself. All those things that you went through, you need to tell somebody else. You need to let people know what you went through. And it took me a minute to get to that point to where I would do that, to where I would share, where I would open up. Um, and here I am. It's a journey. Life is a journey. And it's what you do on that journey. How you live, what you learn from the journey, the mistakes that you've made. Um, I was talking to a friend uh, a few days ago, and she was like, "When are you going to talking about? Are you going to talk about um, drinking?" It has been what's this year? 2024. It has been 23 years. September the 2nd, or 23, 24 years that I stopped drinking. And I thought that that was going to be a problem because I used to drink like a fish. People were like, "How was it like a fish in water?" Fish in water all day long. That's how much I used to drink. And I started drinking at a very, very, very early age. And I thought that was going to be an issue. And I have so many family members that have passed away from alcohol killing them. Like uncles, cousins, people in my family. That was like that's what they did. That's what I did. I was doing that. I started when I was in ninth grade, eighth grade, ninth grade. My first drink was when I was in high school. Somebody brought something to school. That was my first drink. Went on through high school, through college, through my young adult years, and I thought that was going to be an issue. I drank on a regular basis, on a daily basis. So, and that's the just different things that I've been through that God has delivered me through and from that I could sit on and not share. But God was like, again, your life is your life, but your life is not just about you. And that's why I'm such a strong advocate about your health and your health and your wealth, your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health. Um, I've seen and had to, not had to, I've seen and took care of. Drinking almost killed me. Been sober for 9 months. I am thankful that I do not do that now. Thankful. Hey, congratulations on your 9 months. That is a blessing, Christopher. That is a blessing that has been 9 months. And I continue and pray your continued success with that God has delivered you from that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm sure somebody's going to see that comment, and it's somebody that's drinking right now. Somebody's going to see your comment, and it's going to help them. So thank you so much for sharing that. I really and truly appreciate that. And because I stopped, this was crazy. Because and Christopher, I don't know if this is something that you experienced. Because I stopped drinking, which I felt and still feel like that was a positive thing. Because I stopped drinking, some of my best friends, I lost some very close relationship, friends and family, because I stopped drinking. Because we wasn't doing that together anymore. Like, and it's still like that. The relationship hadn't been the same, and that was something hard for me to adjust to because I'm like, I'm doing something good for myself, something positive, and it wasn't looked at like that. So But yeah, that's some of the things. Part of my health, and uh, I did a video a few days ago on my journey of um, becoming vegan, and this came some years after me being on all that medicine. I've been medicine free since January the 8th of 2011. And when my doctor found out I've been off all that medicine, he was like kind of upset because I was off the medicine. Especially when he found out, well, what are you doing? He thought I was seeing another doctor. I was like, nah. And I told him what I started doing, that I was using moringa. And it was like I cursed at him. It was like I cursed at him. So I learned a lot about health and wellness. I learned a lot about Big Pharma through my health journey, and how they want to treat and not cure different things that we have going on. But that's a whole nother video as well. But I just wanted to come on. Man, I've been on here for 26, almost 27 minutes. Like I'm just getting used to this live. I did one last night. This one I didn't put a title on it. I just want to come on and share with you, with each of you. Hope it is helpful. And it was something else I wanted to mention about the. Oh, this is what I was saying. A video I did a couple of days ago. I did in regards to why I became vegan, plant based, and it wasn't anything. Um, Thank you so much, Christopher. Channel grow in Jesus' name. I appreciate that, brother. I went. I went. Me going vegan was not anything that I planned on doing. When I became more health conscious, I would talk about it. I would do videos about being healthier and this and that. And a friend of mine that I hadn't heard from in years, she reached out to me on Facebook and asked me, "Hey, have you? I've been watching your videos. Have you seen this documentary called What the Health?" And I told her no. And she sent me the link, and I watched it. I watched it that Friday night, and God woke me up with it on my mind about 5 o'clock Saturday morning, and I watched it again. And I made a decision while I was watching it the second time that I was going to change my eating habits. I was like, that's it. I can't do this anymore. Meaning the meat and the dairy and all of the other stuff. And it was after, not Thanksgiving, it was a couple of days after 4th of July. So July 8th has been 7 years that I've been vegan. It was a couple of days, a day or so after, no, a couple of days after 4th of July, and I did have some food left over in the refrigerator from 4th of July, some hamburgers, some chicken, some sausage, or whatever. And I was raised to never throw out food. So I ate my food, and that next day, I went cold turkey. Plant based, vegan, whatever you want to call it. And it's been over 7 years. July the 8th was 7 years that I've been plant based. And shortly after going vegan, God placed in my spirit, had I not done what I did, how I did it, meaning going vegan, cold turkey, I probably was going to have some major health issue that was going to happen to me. That was just something that God placed in my spirit. I don't, and to hold myself accountable, I started a Facebook group. I was like, hey, I'm about to go vegan. I saw this documentary. I am done. So, and I'm doing this Facebook group. This is a way of holding myself accountable. And I'll come in and give posts, updates on how it's going. And I did. And I think that group grew to like 1,000 people. People actually started going plant based because of my journey and was seeing the benefits of going vegan. And it was just an amazing thing. And just watching how God moved in my life with that having me to see that documentary from a friend that I hadn't talked to in years. I know at least 10 to 15 years I hadn't talked to her. And when she shared that uh, video and I watched it, and here I am today, still vegan, plant based. I love the lifestyle. Um, there are many benefits for me. I think that uh, people should try it, at least give it a try. And when I say try it, I would say try it for at least 3 months because it takes your body at least 3 months to adjust to something different, to something new. My energy level is different. Um, Skin is so much better. Uh, your focus. Oh, and this one, it's like a deeper spiritually connection. Self discipline, to be disciplined enough to do that is huge. So the self discipline part that comes with it is so worth it. And people ask me like, "Oh, what's your recipe and this and that?" And what I did when I went cold turkey, I had to figure it out while as I went. I didn't have time to ask somebody, "Oh, what's your recipe?" And it may be something I didn't like. So what I did, and for those that are thinking about doing it, what I did was I Googled whatever my one of my favorite meals. I Googled it, but I Googled the vegan version of that, and that's what I did. I prepared it. It was one meal when my body knew that it was. My body was like, "Hey, man, what you doing? I'm missing something." Meaning like the meat, the seafood. When my body was going through its detoxing stage, like I'm missing something. Um, I had this meal, and I ate this meal for every day. I know for at least 2 weeks because I had to make it through, and I knew this was something that I like. I can eat it. I'm gonna stick with it. It ain't gonna take a lot to prepare because in the beginning when I went shopping as a vegan, it was expensive. The first time I went, and the reason why it was expensive was because I had no clue, no idea what I was buying or how to buy it or what I was gonna cook or how to cook it. That's why it was expensive. Is it now? No. Why? Because healthier food lasts longer, is more nutritious, and it lasts longer. So you're full longer. So you're not eating as often or as much. So you're not spending as much, if that makes sense to you. So it was a huge process, learning process. I enjoyed it. Um, People ask me now, are you still vegan? Yeah, I am. And I guess some people think, well, that ain't gonna last long. He'll fall off the bandwagon and be back on it. Um, some of my family members have gone vegan. Some of them have tried it. Um, my mom, she haven't, but she eats healthier because of the choice that I made. Um, a couple of people in the Facebook group that I have, which I hadn't been in that group in a minute. A couple of people in that Facebook group went vegan, still vegan. Um, One lady went for like a couple of years, and um, it was an amazing thing. It was a beautiful thing to see people feeling good about themselves, people feeling good about their health, people feeling good about their physical health, their spiritual health, their mental health, and just hearing those stories again because I shared my story, I shared my journey. And there were times throughout my life when I would get discouraged. If it works, work it. We can do this with God's help. Yes, you can. And you have to. And I tell people that, Christopher, with God's help, we can definitely make it happen. And I said it starts here mentally first. And when people tell me that they was going to do it, and when they started saying different things, I said, wait a minute. I said, if you can't achieve it here first mentally, your body is not going to follow. If you're telling yourself this reason or this excuse and you're doing this now, it's not going to happen. Because right now, mentally, you don't even believe that you can do it. And if your mental doesn't believe it, your body is not going to follow. It's not going to happen. You have to achieve it in your mind. That morning, when I watched What the Hell, that documentary, the second time, while I was watching it, it was like, that was it. I'm not doing this anymore. And when it happened like that, and when I said that, at that moment, I knew and I felt like that was it. Like I knew it was going to happen. There was no doubt in my mind when I said that. That's it. I can't do it anymore. And I know that was with the help of God because I felt like I knew that He woke me up again. He woke me up to watch it again the second time early that morning when there was no sound outside. It was just that time in the morning when it's just that peace. And as I was watching it the second time, I was like, that's it. I can't do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. And when I said that, I believed it. Exactly. Jesus tells us to believe. And we had the mind is a powerful thing. And if we knew that and understood that, if we really understood as a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinketh, so is he. If we really understood the power of that and the power of our mind, then man, life would be even better than what it is right now. And I knew that was it. So, but I've been on here for a minute. Any questions that you all have of me about anything that I've shared, anything, a topic you would like for me to talk about, maybe on another live or in a video. For those of you that are subscribers, thank you so much for being a subscriber and commenting. And Chris, I hope you don't mind me calling you Chris. I see your comments. Thank you so much, brother, for watching the videos, being on this live, and watching um, my other videos and commenting. I really and truly appreciate that. I pray prayerfully that is helping you. Some of the things that I share with you, prayerfully is helping you. Man, I'm so excited about you sharing that it's been 9 months for you. That's big. That is. I'm gonna give you a hand. I'm gonna keep praying. I'm gonna have you in my prayers, praying for you. That continues. How do you want me to address you? My name is Maurice. Um, if that's fine with you, because of now what I get a lot is Coach Walker. I'm in the school system. I coach. I was coaching basketball. Um, if Coach Walker is fine with you, my family called me Reese. Um, my name is Maurice. Um, the majority of what I hear is Coach Walker. Some of my college friends call me Mobetta, which the name of my channel, God gave me this, the title of it, Making Life Mobetta, was something a title. When he gave me that, he didn't tell me what it was for, but it was some years ago. So, yeah. All right. Coach Walker, blessings to you also, Christian. Thank you so much for coming on, um, commenting, and sharing. Anybody else? And with this, it's not like Facebook Live when you can scroll back and see the comments. On here, you can see the comments for a little bit, then it disappears. Love you too, brother. Appreciate that. Somebody asked me, and because you're sharing that, you saying that, Christopher. A friend of mine, she was like, "Why are you telling them people you love them? You don't even know them." And I was doing that at the end of my videos. I tell you, "Hey, I love you, but God loves you best," and I do. Some people don't hear that. Some people don't hear those three words. I love you. The first time a man told me that he loved me was my college coach when I was in college. I was a grown man, and he was a white coach, and he called me Mo. Hey Mo, I love you, Coach Horn. God rest his soul, Coach Fonders Horn. That was the first time a man told me that he loved me. And I grew up in my family around my grandfather. He died when I was in the eighth grade. My uncles, I know my uncles love me, but as far as saying it, a man can say that we ain't scared. Yeah. And I had to, it was, I guess, because that was in our culture, that it was something that wasn't done. When I started saying it, I felt different. Like, I just felt different. But I don't have an issue with saying that now, and I do. Um, because brothers need to know that. They need to know that and understand that and feel that. So appreciate you for saying that and sharing that. All right. I have four people on. What do y'all think about the live versus I'm still going to be doing my regular videos, posting them, recording the videos, posting. I like the live video because of the feedback. You can get like immediate feedback through the comments. And I really appreciate that. I did Facebook live video some years ago and I did a live video every morning. It feels really good to know we have brothers and sisters. Yes, it does, Chris. Yep, it really does. And I did those videos on Facebook some years ago. I did. In fact, when I was going through some things, what I felt like was, ooh, at that time was like the worst time in my life. That's just how I was feeling during those times. And God was like, stop worrying about yourself so much and focus on other people. Focus on pouring into other people. And He led me to doing videos. And I would do a video every morning. It was called Making Life Mobetta Moments. And I would do, my video consisted of, I would take a scripture and I would talk about it. And after that, I would pray. And it usually lasted like 25, 30 minutes. And I did that every morning for 4 years. Every morning. I did that for 4 years. And it really helped me because when I was doing that, it took the focus off of me and the things that I was going through. And it was blessing other people. And because it was blessing other people, I was being blessed by blessing other people, by sharing with other people, by sharing my stories, my testimonies, my deliverance, and that's how God worked it out. And before I realized it, I was like, man, I hadn't thought about the things that I was going through in quite some time. And that's how God meant for it to work. And then people said that they were being blessed because I was doing that and sharing. And so I enjoyed the live videos because of the feedback that you get while you're on here. Um, so, but any more comments? Any more questions? It shows that I have. I wonder if it'll tell you like what four people are on here. No, it don't. So I'm still learning about YouTube Live, how that works, and I had to figure out how to stop the video yesterday because it doesn't have anything on here that says end the video. All it has is an X up in the left corner. It has a time thing in the up top in the middle, and it has the number 4 to let you know it's 4 people on, and two thumbs up. So that's it. Nothing over to the right, but some other what you call it, something for the microphone. Then if I want to turn the camera around, So I'm learning this platform as well, the um, YouTube platform. So, and for y'all to have stayed on here this long, you must be getting something from it. I'm doing these videos. I started October the 1st. I'll share this. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay on here for an hour. So I got 14 minutes left. If you those of you that want to hop off now, you can hop off, but I'm gonna be on here for an hour. So I got 14 minutes left. I started doing these videos because I started on October the 1st. And I said, you know what? I want to see if 3, 4 more, let's go. I want to see if YouTube, me doing YouTube videos, could replace my full-time income, meaning getting monetized and it replacing my full-time income. So my first video was actually about that. So my the challenge to myself was, I when I do something, I have to do it like every day in order to get into a habit. So to challenge myself, I said, you know what? I'm gonna do a video every day for 90 days. And I started on that day, October the 1st. And it has been 90 days. The end of December made it 90 days. And none of them were live videos. I didn't do my first live video until yesterday. I tried it maybe a month or so ago to see how it worked, and that was it. But as far as doing a live video like this is my second one. I did one yesterday. And I feel like with live videos, it allows you to get to know your audience, those that are on listening to you, those that choose to comment or share. It allows you to get to know them. People get to hear you, hear your voice. When I was doing it on Facebook, I would be out and about different places, traveling, and people come up to me like, "Hey, Maurice, how are you doing?" Oh, Making Life Mobetta. That's what they were calling me. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm looking at them like, "Do I know this person?" And I would always forget that it was from the videos, the live videos I was doing every morning. And they will come up to me and say, "Oh, your video blessed me so much when you prayed, and the prayer that you prayed," because people are actually like put what they wanted for prayer. And when I would pray, I would go through that at the end. And just the testimonies that people were sharing and sending, and um, seeing people, and they come up to me, and it was like they knew me. Like, "Oh, I know you," and "Hey, this is Making Life Mobetta," and he's the one I listen to every morning. And um, it was just, I think I was blessed more than they were blessed. I watched a live video that was promoting the channel, talked about what? Talks about 200. Man, these comments be going by so quick. Oh, here it is. I watched a live video that was promoting their channel, talked about what no one talks about. 2,000 subs equals 2,000 a month. Yeah, yeah. I saw a couple of videos like that, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to see. You know, it's another video I'm gonna talk about. Why is it wrong that why we feel like it's wrong, or people want to make you feel like you can't discuss money? You wanting to make money, you encouraging other people to make money, especially in the church, in the black church. Oh, that's all you're talking about is money. That you can't live on this earth without money. Somebody told me, money is just like air. You can't live without it. Got to have it. But Thank you for sharing that, Chris. Appreciate it. But that was my goal for doing the videos. And I was like, what kind of videos am I going to do? Because of fear. I was like, what kind of videos and am I going to do? And it's like, you know, the emoji eyes, when the eyes are just looking at you. And I'm thinking, like, what kind of videos I'm going to do? And God sent me the emoji eyes. Like, I know what videos you're not going to do. I appreciate you for y'all being on here and me sharing. Uh, but that's how I started with doing these videos. So I think I'm going to try to do a live at least once a week, maybe twice a week. But this is my second one already. I did one yesterday and today. So I'm gonna try to do a live at least once a week. And Christopher, I don't know if you saw the one I did yesterday. I had a title on it. This one, it doesn't have a title. I think this one, all it has is Making Life Mobetta is live. When I did the one last night, it had a title on it. I don't know how it came across. I do not do much social stuff. You have my full support. Appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. And not doing a lot of social stuff, I think, is a good thing. There's so much stuff out there that's distracting, and people suggesting that you do this, you suggesting that some of the stuff that you see on social media, you like, Lord, what? Like, is there no type of discretion whatsoever on here on social media? And I don't know. It's like, mm, some people are selling their souls on social media for whatever. There's nothing worth that. You're selling your soul. But I agree with you. Sometimes when I go on social media, I have to know if I'm going on for a specific thing. Because if not, you get on there, you go to scrolling, and you looking at this and you looking at that. And I am very mindful of what I allow into my mental. And things can get into your mental through what you see, what you hear, what you're watching. I heard this quote some years ago. Whatever entertains you trains you. Meaning what we allow in can become a part of our subconscious, even if we don't think so. That's just like some songs that we hear or some commercials that we hear or see, and you find yourself thinking about that commercial or humming that tune of that commercial. Things can get in your subconscious, and that's why we have. I feel I have to guard my mental because there's so much fear-based stuff that's out there. People trying to invoke fear, um, and if you give into it, you'll find yourself going down a whole rabbit hole of one fear, one thought of fear, going to another thought, and it's crazy. So being off of social media or whenever you come on social media, knowing what you're going over there for, I have to be mindful about that myself. So I understand what you're saying, Chris. Appreciate it. It's 54 minutes, 6 minutes left. But if there's anything that y'all you come up with, if you want me to talk about anything that you want me to share, I can talk about different things. Life as a referee, because I'm a basketball official. Um, Vegan. Your audio level is on my phone, max volume up. Thank you for sharing that. Maybe it's me and how low I'm talking. Is it a? Let me know if it's a difference. And with you saying, I'm looking into getting a mic, so hopefully that'll help. I haven't ordered it yet, and that's something I meant to ask when y'all came on, was to see how the quality of the video and the audio. Can you hear me on through the audio? How did that sound in the video? So how's the video part, Chris? Better. Speak directly into. Oh, okay. So I turned the volume up a little, then I raised my voice a little. Um, and with my voice, I growing up, people claim to have had an issue with my voice, and subconsciously, that made me lower my voice, meaning my voice carries. I've had some people that say, "Oh, you scared me with your voice," or "Your voice is too stern," or I've had people say stern. I've had people say your voice has authority in it. A lot of people don't know how to take that or to handle that. Video good, be purposeful with your voice. Exactly. And that's something I had to get used to was being purposeful, being comfortable. You can't please and satisfy everybody. If they don't like it, they don't have to listen. And I had to get to a point to believe in that and understanding that and feeling comfortable with that. So I do appreciate you letting me know about um, the audio and the video. But there's some, I'll come up with some different topics whenever I want to do live. And I was actually in the gym working out, and I was thinking about that, the journey I've been on, my health and wellness journey. And I just, hey, I want to share this video about why it's important to take care of yourself, take care of your body, and not waiting. I had a couple of good friends, young friends. I consider them being young, that ended up having strokes. Life was well for him. He was in his late 50s, retired military, government job, through his own business, DJing part time. And one morning he woke up and he realized he couldn't move much. And somehow he ended up falling from the bed on the floor. And the second day, day two, his girlfriend came by, his friend of his came by and was knocking on the door. And the neighbor's like, "Oh, he's not home. I saw when he left." So the neighbors told that he wasn't home, but he was home. He was in the house. He couldn't say anything. He couldn't move. He was on the floor where he had the stroke. And 9 days after that, which was 11 days, um, someone called his mom who lived here. I'm in South Carolina, who lived here in South Carolina. And she said, "No, I'll go over and do a wellness check." Went in, did a wellness check, and he was on the floor. He was alive. 11 days he had a stroke. Massive, massive stroke for 11 days. And they moved him here to South Carolina from Virginia. And I knew him before that, and watching him, amen, the Creator bestows his authority and we act accordingly. I watched him, thanks, Chris. I watched him. I knew him before, and just watching him go through that, where your health is, you're completely independent when you go to sleep and you wake up, can't do anything for yourself. How quick his life changed. And he had to be completely dependent on other people. Okay, you're from Colorado. I visited Colorado a year ago. Was it a year ago? Yeah, a year ago, August. I visited Denver, Colorado. I was there for a workshop. Yeah. But just watching him and how his health changed that fast. And I help with him. I helped take him to his therapy and to his doctor's appointment. And just watching someone go through that was devastating. It was heart wrenching. And I felt like God allowed me to see that for a reason. And I tell people that I'm like, hey, your health, your life can change in the blink of an eye. You're this way, you can go to sleep and wake up, and it's completely different. And that made me want to be even more health conscious about my health. So I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you so much for those of you that came on and hung on with me. We made it an hour. Didn't seem like an hour, but it's an hour and 1 minute. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. I will be doing another one. I'm gonna try. I'm just trying different things. I think you can schedule the live, letting people know that you're going to be on live, and if you have a title for it, you can put the title on there. Let them know what you're going to talk about. I'm gonna try that. I don't know when I'm gonna try it, but I am going to try that. But I will be back on. The older ones get yes. Be well. Appreciate it, Chris. Same to you. Thank y'all so much. God bless, and prayerfully, God spare my life. I will check you out on another video. All right, take care. God bless. Remember, I love you, but God loves you best. All right, have a good one.